नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों, आई थिंक यू हैव हर्ड ऑफ द लेगेसी ऑफ द 8 गार्ड्स ऑफ द इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस. The 8th Battalion of the Brigade of the Guards took part in the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971 as a part of the 202 Mountain Brigade from the 20 Mountain Division under the 33 Corps. This battalion specifically took part in the Battle of Hilli, both in the first part of the Battle of Hilli, the Bloodbath of Morapara, and also in the second Battle of Hilli, fighting against the desperate defense of the Pakistani 4 frontier force, the Bawanjas. This battalion, I think, had most of the casualties, both dead and wounded. About 1/3 of the battalion was out of action after the entire Bangladesh conflict, and it was awarded 3 Mahavir Chakras, one of the most highly decorated battalions of the Indian Army. तो आज इस पॉडकास्ट वीडियो में आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक टू ब्रिगेडियर प्रकाश घोगले, who was captain and adjutant of the 8 guards in the Bangladesh Liberation War, and he will be giving an overview of the first Battle of Hilli and the second Battle of Hilli, talking about the bravery of his comrades, about the brave officers of the Indian Army who laid down their lives for the liberation of Bangladesh. So many of his battalion had perished for the liberation of Bangladesh. To know this history directly from the man who was present just 400 yards away from the battlefield, let's welcome Brigadier Prakash Ghogale to our program today.
So before starting, I would like to know a bit about how you, sir, joined the Indian Armed Forces and how you got into the 8 Guards.
I joined NDA in 1965, January,
Okay.
and I was in the first 5 of the merit list. And then I was very good in drill,
Acha, acha.
and my squad commander was also from the guards.
Acha, acha.
So I was impressed by and there was one more guard also. They were very, very smart and very. What should I say? Immaculately turned out. So I was quite impressed by that, and I was the right marker of the passing out parade. In 1967 December,
Okay.
when we passed out. It's usually the sergeant major is the right marker of the parade, the entire parade. So I was a quartermaster sergeant. And despite that, because of my excellent drill, I was selected as the right marker of the entire parade. So the entire parade was marked on my step.
Acha, acha.
So that was that. And then when I joined Indian Military Academy in January 68, yeah, so I was selected as K. Rodley for the VIP who came for the passing out parade of the senior course, that is 41st course. I was 42nd.
42nd.
Yeah, so I was 42nd, and I was one of the 2 who were escorting General Moti Sagar, then Southern Army Commander, to escort him for the parade. And unfortunately, my Ordinary mate perished in the 71 war. He was from Paris, and the Mumbai Cup parade is named after him, Captain Prakash Pete.
Acha.
Anyway, so that was that, and I was always wanting to join the Guards right from the beginning, right from NDA days. And
Any specific reason, sir, why you chose the Brigade of the Guards?
yeah, so they were very, very colorful uniform and very smart. In fact, even our drill instructor in Indian Military Academy was the adjutant from of the Indian Military Academy, used to ride the horse. Very, very impressive. was
Acha.
then Major Berry, and that impressed me a lot, and therefore I wanted to join Guards. And Guards was an elite regiment,
Mhm.
so therefore I got my. Although I wanted to join First Guards, which was probably the senior most battalion of the infantry battalion of the Indian Army, I didn't get that. I joined the 8 Guards.
8 guards.
Yeah, and that was in uh, what do you call in Manipur. In
Acha, acha. Counterinsurgency.
counterinsurgency. So for about
Acha.
a year or so, I was there and deployed at a place called Ukrul, which is in Manipur, which is on the border of Nagaland, Manipur.
Acha, acha.
And then thereafter, we, as I said, we moved to Hasimara, and from Hasimara to Pachagad,
Mhm.
and, which is in the Siliguri salient.
Mhm.
And there I picked up the position of adjutant.
Acha.
The adjutant is usually the person on whom the commanding officer
Mhm.
relies a lot,
Acha.
because he is the voice of the commanding officer.
At that time, Lieutenant Colonel Shamsher Singh was there.
Lieutenant Colonel Shamsher Singh was the
Acha, acha.
commanding officer. Very, what should I say, no nonsense sort of a guy, very smart and very handsome person. And he selected me as the adjutant right from just before the war, that is in June 71.
Mhm.
And I was the adjutant of the battalion throughout
Acha.
the war and thereafter also for a very long time. In fact, any commanding officer and the change of commanding officer, they always used to call me back and say, sit on the adjutant chair. In fact, I must have been that adjutant of almost 7 to 8 commanding officers.
7 to 8. Acha.
Yes, so every time commanding officer changed, no, he said, you come back here, we want you back. So, well, that was.
अच्छा सर आपका काम क्या था as adjutant in the battalion?
As adjutant of the battalion, I have to coordinate everything. Coordinate the battle, coordinate the entire sequence of events. What is going to happen in the what you call presently, get information through the intelligence,
अच्छा अच्छा.
provide intelligence to the commanding officer based on which he makes the plans for the attack. So, and then thereafter he passes on the message, passes on the orders to me, and which I have convey to the company commanders. So, commanding officer doesn't talk much to directly to the company commander. He talks to the adjutant.
अच्छा.
So, adjutant coordinates everything, coordinates the action of the battalion. That is also, before that, since I was very good in drill, I gave about 7-8 guards of honor, including one to General Jacob.
General Jacob. अच्छा. At that time Major General.
Yeah, no, when he took over as Army Commander
अच्छा,
later
अच्छा.
at Dum Dum Airport,
अच्छा अच्छा.
gave a guard of honor to the outgoing Army Commander, General Raleigh, and the incoming Army Commander, General Jacob, who had then become a Lieutenant General.
अच्छा
So,
अच्छा.
during the time of the war, he was the Major General. And I also received colors, which is a privilege, it's a great privilege. I received colors for my battalion, that is 8 Guards, at Kota from President Giri in 1970, 73, I think, 73 or 74.
Okay. So
Yes.
I was looking for a bit before the Battle of Hilli started. Like, where was the battalion and how did you get involved in the operations before the war started for you,
Okay.
for your unit?
Yeah, so we were part of Kyoto Mountain Brigade,
अच्छा.
and which was a part of 20 Mountain Division located in Dinajpur.
बिना-
We were at Hatimara, about some distance away from Dinajpur.
अच्छा.
Kyoto Mountain Brigade was away, little away from Dinajpur. And there we, after 20 mountain dew, decided that Hilli was a very major, what you call major, what should I say, not major but very strategic location, and we would have been able to cut off the waste of Pakistan,
Acha.
the northern waste of Pakistan. So 20 Mountain Dew was given the task of attacking Hilli
Acha.
and clearing Hilli, and out of 20 Mountain Dew, 202 Mountain Brigade was selected.
Okay.
202 Mountain Brigade was commanded by then Brigadier Prakash Ghogale, who was the commanding officer of 4th Grenadier earlier in 1965 war.
Acha. Acha.
And he was the commanding officer of Abdul Hamid, who got a Paramveer Chakra
Posthumously, right.
posthumously. So he was a very tough commander. And Brigadier Bhatti had a lot of faith in Lieutenant Samsher, then Lieutenant Colonel Samsher, and therefore he selected him, his battalion, to spearhead the operations of 202 Mountain Brigade.
Acha.
So therefore, from after
So did you
Fatimata.
take part in training the Mukti Bahini?
Oh yes, of course. That was in January 71. We established a camp. 8 guards established a camp near Siliguri,
Acha.
a place called Murti Camp near New Mall. New Mall is the place,
Acha. Acha.
and there's a place called Murti Camp. So we established a camp for training Mukti Bahini or Mukti Forge, it was called, and that was in January 71. So you can imagine that we were getting ready there only. And in fact, the then Defence Minister also visited our camp, Mr. Adjutant, and saw as to how we were training Mukti Bahini. So that was that, and after establishing the camp and running it for about 2-3 months, we came back to our permanent location. And then thereafter in September 71, I told you earlier, in June 71 we were at inside East Pakistan at a place called Bhajanpur in the Pachagad salient. And there we were there for about 2 months. And
So you and your unit, whole unit.
whole unit was there. And we had a unit was at Bhajanpur, and little ahead we had a screen location commanded again by Major Mandarikar.
Okay.
And the Pakistanis used to beat up these, and before ahead of us was the Mukti Bahini.
Okay.
Every time the Pakistanis used to beat the Mukti Force, they used to fall back on us.
Acha. Acha.
UN also came to check whether Indian Army is really involved in
There or not.
in Bangladesh or not. In East Pakistan or not. And there we are all wearing lungis so that to depict that we are all Mukti Bahini and not the entire battalion was in lungis that day.
Acha. Acha.
Just to show that we are not actually the Indian Army. Anyway, thereafter we moved back to our permanent location in Hasimara, and then moved to Trimohini near Hilli in September 71. And from there we carried out recce from there was a BOP called Aptior BOP in our area. Aptior BOP.
So could you say the spelling, sir?
APTOIR.
Okay.
APTOIR, Aptior BOP, which was in our area. And from there we used to carry out recce of their BOP, which was Vasudevpur BOP, and Hilli.
Acha.
And Hilli area. Now Hilli was a town which was partly in East Pakistan and partly in India.
Hmm.
And the border ran in between.
Hmm.
And also there was a railway line, Bangladesh railway line, which was on their side, which used to run north to south.
Acha, through Balurghat, sir.
Yeah, through Balurghat was in India, no?
India, it
But,
is here.
so this was running from, I don't know which is the place now,
Hmm.
but they had their own railway line, which used to go just, Hilli was the railway station of theirs.
Hmm.
And the railway line used to run from north to south. Now, I
Acha.
don't know I don't remember the places from where it used to go, from where it came and where it used to go.
Acha, sir.
But the railway line had, the rail traffic had stopped by then,
Hmm.
by the time, because things were hotting up.
Right.
So we used to come and from up to our BOP we used to carry out recce
Hmm.
of the place, and so we were supposed to carry out assault in October. Then it was postponed and kept on postponing. It came ultimately to 22nd November.
22nd.
Because
Okay.
because Indira Gandhi was, traveling all over the country
Hmm.
and trying to, what do you call, get support from other countries, because USA would not give any support at all. So he was trying to get support and ultimately got some support from USSR,
Okay.
as you know. So then ultimately the date was decided 22nd November, and before that, a week before that, or probably 10-15 days before that, Lieutenant General Aurora came. It was very rare for an army commander to come and address a battalion.
Right.
So the army commander, Lieutenant General Aurora, came and addressed our battalion, and that to say that we were leading the attack into East Pakistan. Of course, the few skirmishes had earlier taken place, like Battle of Dinajpur and things like that,
Hmm.
before that. But then there was no formal sort of, attacking or assault. So this was the
Full-scale
first
battalion assault, I guess.
full-scale battalion assault, and we were supposed to have probably tanks in support if only if required,
Hmm.
and a lot of artillery. So that was as far as the date was concerned. And on 22nd November,
Hmm.
we started moving towards our assembly area.
Acha.
From three Moini, we started moving to our assembly area, which is a little short of the in our area only, but a little short of.
So you were with the, two companies that were going to attack, sir, or you were behind?
Yeah, we were just behind the two companies,
Acha, acha.
because Adjutant has to coordinate everything. No?
Hmm.
So we were just behind those two Alpha and Bravo company, and
Acha.
Charlie and Delta company were the reserves.
Hmm.
So that was that, and now coming to the battle itself.
Hmm.
The Battle of Hilli is supposed to be the most savagely fought and most ferocious battle of the eastern sector. And even the army commander, General Aurora, said that it was the bloodiest battle of 19th eastern sector. So, 20th Mountain Division was commanded by Major General Lakshman Singh Lehel,
Hmm.
who was a Veer Chakra himself,
47, 44.
47, 48, and as I think a forward observation officer, he had got a Veer Chakra. Very brave person, and he had written two books himself. In fact, he was staying nearby later on in Somvihar in Delhi with us.
Acha, acha.
So I used to keep on meeting quite regularly. So 20 Mountain Days was, as I said, commanded by General Lakshman Singh Lehel, Veer Chakra, and go to Mountain Brigade by Brigadier then later on became a Major General, Brigadier Farad Bhatti
Right.
of VSM of the Grenadiers.
Mm-hmm.
And there were three battalions in 22 Mountain Brigade. One was ours, that is 8 guards, there were 5 Garhwal rifles,
Mm-hmm.
and 22 Maratha light infantry.
Okay.
And so we were selected to lead the attack by 20 Mountain Dew and
202 Brigade.
202 Brigade, and 5 Garhwal were the reserve, reserve battalion. And as I said, 22 Maratha was the other unit in the brigade. 22 Maratha is a Hyderabadi battalion, I think. A lot of fair amount of Muslims in the battalion. And as I said, Lieutenant Colonel Samsher Singh was the commanding officer, and he had a very fine 2IC who had come from Amateur, that is second Lancers.
Acha.
There were some officers who were very bright and who couldn't get command, who were getting blocked in armored corps. So they were given a choice. So some of them opted for guards. And this gentleman, excellent officer, I think probably one of the finest officers of the Indian Army. He was, when I was a cadet in the NDA, he was our adjutant.
Okay.
And then thereafter, I became his adjutant, of course not in the war, but later on, when he took over command of 8 guards, I was his adjutant.
What's his name, sir?
His name was, then was Major S.K. Chaudhary. He went on to become Major General, and then thereafter, unfortunately, in a road accident, as commanding 14 Infantry Division, he was killed in a road accident. So otherwise he was in the line for the chief, because he was senior to General Roy Chaudhary and a great friend of General Roy Chaudhary. In fact, General Roy Chaudhary used to come and sit in my office and have a chat with me when then Lieutenant Colonel Chaudhary was busy with some office work. So as I said, Hilli was partly in India and partly in Pakistan, and the railway line was passing through. And as there was a Colonel Niazi, who was one of the prolific writers of Pakistan, and he said, the brigade there was 205 brigade led by
Jamal Hussain Malik.
Brigadier Tajamul Hussain Malik. And according to this columnist, Pakistani columnist Colonel Niazi T.I. He says the fortifications here, and I quote, the fortifications here were a classic example of defense in the history of modern warfare, unquote.
Okay.
So, now as per intelligence available, Hilli defences were held by the famous Bawanjas, that is 4th Frontier Force, which was an old regiment of General Sam Manekshaw.
His own unit,
Yeah. So also my father-in-law was from Frontier Force before he joined Maratha. Yeah. He was Brigadier Bhosle, who captured Daman in 1961 as CEO of First Maratha. So anyway, Morapara was the strongest point in Hilli area, because Hilli area, as you said, you could have had defences within the town itself. So Hilli was surrounded by a lot of villages. So, and Morapara was the strongest point, strong point of the entire and the hub of the defences. So that was because we couldn't have attacked across the railway line. So the only way was to come from the north, and north was a place called Morapara. which was about 500 kilometers, 400, not 500 meters, 4 to 500 meters from Morapara. And Charlie Company under Major P.P. Singh was given the task to secure Morapara. So on 23rd night, on
November, I guess.
23rd November, on around 9 o'clock or so, Major P.P. Singh and his company went on and captured Morapara. Now, I won't say secured Morapara because there were enemy early warning elements and they had laid down mines and all that. So there were some casualties which we suffered, but it was a sort of a cakewalk, to capture Morapara. So then we were, that became the Morapara became the forward, FUP.
Forming a position.
Forming up place. Morapara became the forming up place. And Alpha Company was on the right, and Bravo Company was on the left, and we were battalion headquarters was immediately behind.
Achha.
And so that from Morapara we could control the battle. So now one thing I didn't because as per intelligence which was provided to us, there was only one platoon at Morapara.
Achha.
Whereas in reality there was a company plus.
Right.
Plus they had Pakistanis have Recce and support battalion. So elements of Recce and support battalion were also there with the machine guns, rocket launchers and RCL guns. So it was almost like probably having 1.5 company there.
A lot of people, yeah. More than 150, I guess.
Yeah, more than 150. And the usual ratio for attacking is 1:3.
Right.
And where you are attacking probably 2:2.
2:2.
No, almost 2:2. Whereas the intelligence provided us was one platoon. So that was that, and our Alpha and Bravo Company. Alpha Company was on the right, as I said, Bravo Company on the left. And as they crossed the cattle fence, there was a cattle fence. And on the cattle fence they had put booby traps, they had put bells.
Bells.
So that they could make a sound. And I must give it to the 4th Frontier Force. Their fire discipline was fantastic. They did not fire at all till Alpha and Bravo Company came to the cattle fence. Moment we crossed, our josh was so much that instead of cutting the wire fence, we were trying to climb the wire fence.
Okay.
Because we thought this is going to be a cakewalk after Morapara, because Morapara was secured so easily. So moment we tried to cross that, and then the booby trap started and the bells started. Tremendous fire came from the sides. They had machine guns, medium machine guns, and enfilade on either side of Morapara, and tremendous fire came.
And you were in the attack itself, sir?
No, I was in the FUP.
FUP.
We were coordinating, no?
So you
That
must have
FUP.
noticed and heard.
Yeah, of course. It was just for 400 meters away. So we were seeing everything, what was happening. Though it was dark, and you see, plus...
You can see the tracers flying in the air, for sure.
Yes, tracers flying in the air, plus you see, the movement was very difficult because there was uncut paddy fields. there was but water till the knees
Knees.
in the, so it was movement was very difficult, and they just started off, and enemy defenses were very well integrated. Every inch of ground was, it was Morapara was a village. So, they had removed the tracks from the railway line, and what do you call, fortified their defenses. And because they knew that was the only way we could have come was from the north.
Okay.
Because across the hilly town we could not have come. So that was the only way we could have come. And they got a lot of time to build up the defenses. Because we kept on well, I shouldn't say great chaps who were raking every day. And so they knew that these guys are going to come from up the BOP side. And, so momentary that we crossed the battlefield, murderous fire came from either side. And our troops, the Indian troops, unless they are well led, they will not follow you. That is, I suppose, everywhere. But after, I'm not that I am trying to undermine our troops, but they like to be led by an officer. And that was the time, when Major Manjrekar stood up and said, follow me. And the others also followed him. But as he was nearing a bunker, he threw a grenade into a bunker. He got a burst of machine gun, and he fell down. And we could hear him on the radio set. He was saying, "Aage badho," and we heard him say, "Bharat Mata ki Jai." That was probably last, talk on the radio set, or conveyance of the radio set.
Okay.
So that was that, and now I must tell you, the moment he fell down, he had a radio operator with him. So radio operator was Shilal, who went on to become Subedar Major of the battalion later.
Acha.
He was a Lansanaik then youngster. So he moved on to the next person, that is Samsher Singh Samra.
Acha.
But Samsher Singh, second Lieutenant Samsher Singh Samra, who got a Mahavir Chakra, a well-deserved Mahavir Chakra. I must tell you a story about him before I talk about his bravery. He was, the previous day he went to his coursemate and gave him a letter. He says, "This letter is for my father, and please tell him that not to look for any girl. I don't want to get married." And then he took out his watch and gave it to his coursemate and said that where I am going, I won't require it. So you keep this watch. And such was his motivation that even before the war started, he used to tell me, "Sir, mere ko bhejo. My aim is to pull out a machine gun from the Pakistani defenses." And sure enough, he was 50 yards ahead of everybody else. Of all his troops, he was 50 yards ahead. Such was his level of motivation, and this was confirmed by 4 frontier force prisoners of war.
Acha.
4 prisoners, they were located at Bareilly camp, and Bareilly camp, the in charge of the camp was Brigadier Prakash
Acha. Acha.
who was some guards again,
Okay.
from second guards, and those prisoners came and told him that they saw his guards epaulets. They said, "Saab, आपका एक बंदा हिली में 50 गज आगे था बाकियों से, एक सरदार जी था, और 50 गज आगे था, और हमने जब वो गिरा तभी हमने उसको देखा एपोलेट की जो ऑफिसर है." So Such was the level of motivation. This man, he went there, he destroyed one bunker, tried to pull out, as I said, machine gun from another bunker. As he was trying to pull out, he got a burst and he perished there. His what you call, not statue, his memento is there in the battalion.
Bust,
In that,
I guess.
in that position only, and his course mates. He was an cadet of Officers Training Academy, Chennai.
Chennai. Right.
So his course mates on their 50th year of passing out, they wanted to have his statue,
Acha.
big bust in that position only. At Chennai, the commandant was saying, no, we have statues of some great figure. They said, no, nothing doing, we want to have his statue only. And that statue is still there, in the sense, that huge statue it is. In fact, I had gone there to Chennai especially to pay my homage to that great man. And it was a well-deserved Mahavir Chakra. And now, after he fell, Srilal went to the third officer. Now again he is from same company. Such was the motivation of the of Alpha Company that even the third officer was Second Lieutenant P.N. Gupta, very young officer, barely 6 months old. He had just come, I think, from Wayus, young officer, of course. And I was next to the commanding officer and the FUP, and commanding officer told him that you see, in war the situation in battle the situation very fluid. So you don't know what is happening there. Even though you are very near, but you can't, you don't know what is happening. So he said that you get hold of your remnants of the Alpha Company
Right.
and attack. So Solo said, yes sir, I'll do it. And he got hold of some of the chaps like, JSO, Subhadar Dallu Prasad and some other people. And he attacked. And thereafter, when we finally captured the objective, we found his body standing, leaning on a tree, and with bullets right, it was unrecognizable face. He had got bullets right from the face down to his toes. So many bullets he must have got. And he was recommended for Mahavir Chakra. Major Manjrekar was recommended for Paramveer Chakra. Both of them did not get anything. And in fact, Bantilal, who was the defense minister later, at the time went to Yamuna Nagar, which was P.N. Gupta's place, and presented a sword to his mother, in which it was written Second Lieutenant P.N. Gupta, Mahavir Chakra. So that is that I tried to write to Mr. Khattar, who was the chief minister. I said, put something in his name at least, this great man. But they didn't even acknowledge my letter. Such is the, although I must say that Rao Birendra Singh also asked him, because based on my letter, Rao Birendra Singh had also written to him, the chief minister. In fact, I also wrote a letter to Uddhav Thackeray and thereafter to Fadnavis, who was chief minister, to make something, in name of Major Manjrekar, because there was a market named after Major Manjrekar in Sion.
Gotcha.
That was also changed by some politician's name was later on given, and that. So I was reminding, but they again both of them did not acknowledge any. Major Manjrekar, there is a thing called ABVP, Akhil Bharatiya Vidya Parishad, which is headed by, I think, Air Marshal Bapat. Okay. So they were very nice. They had come to know about this because I had given a talk to them also. I had been giving talks on the battle to various people, various organizations. including Southern Command, Headquarters, Eastern Command, and Rashtriya Raksha University, Bangalore International Center, and so they had come to know about this, and they instituted a trophy as the best NCC cadet of a SP college, that is Sir Parsuram Bhau College in Pune. So there is a yearly event which I have been attending. I attended twice, wherein the best trophy, best NCC cadet trophy is given in the name of Major Manjrekar. And his family, which is their family in the sense, his nephew and niece, who are here, they donate 5,000 rupees to, every year to for the for the winner. So that was that. Now that as far as Alpha, that was as far as Alpha company is concerned. They were able to secure a foothold, but that was that. Now Bravo company went a little off. You see, they were on the left-hand side, whereas they probably veered off a bit. So they did not suffer as many casualties as Alpha company. But their company commander was Major Ravindranath, and he got a shrapnel in his, I think, probably leg, and I had him evacuated because he said he will not be in a position to continue. So I had him evacuated. He was walking wounded. I sent my chap within.
So could you come a bit forward?
I sent my RP Hallar to him within to take him to the ADS. So thereafter his second command major, then Captain Bansal. Captain Bansal then took over the took over the
Command of the company.
command of the company, and he was fighting on relentlessly. There he got a mention in dispatches, but then thereafter he also had to withdraw from there because the firing was so much, and the strength was so much, it was not possible to
Take over.
take over that objective. So then, since the situation was fluid, then we were discussing. The commanding officer said, "They send now the Delta Company, the third company." Charlie Company had already employed in the Morapara. This was Delta Company, and Delta Company was led by Major K.K. Rao. Yeah, K.K. Rao was the senior company commander, and he was, in fact, his posting had come before the battle, but he said, "No, I will not move out. I would like to fight the battle and then move out on posting." So he led his company, and as he was nearing the objective, again the firing was so much. Just as near the objective, he got a burst in his thigh, and we couldn't move forward. We couldn't evacuate him because it was so much of fire going on. We were not aware of what was happening, and he bled to death. He got a Sena medal, though he was recommended for higher award, but he got a Sena medal. Then, as the Delta Company was fighting there, then his Company 2IC, Captain Vishnu Sharma, he took over, and he kept on fighting there. He got a V Chakra for not holding on to his position. Bansal got a mention in dispatches, and the Delta Company, there was one Landnaik, Ramugra Pandey. Ramugra Pandey was a section commander of his section of Delta Company, and he was fighting very spiritedly, and along with his rocket launcher chap, he was destroying bunkers. So when that rocket launcher chap got killed, he took his rocket launcher and destroyed about 2 to 3 bunkers himself.
Yeah.
He got hold of his rocket launcher and he was firing himself. But unfortunately, the enemy rocket launcher blew him to smithereens. We couldn't even recover anything from him, of his. And he was recommended and very highly recommended, and he got a Mahavir Chakra. And there is in Noida, there is a place called Ram Vihar. Ram Vihar is named after Ramendra Pandey. And similarly, I forgot to tell you that even in Ludhiana, Samsher Nagar is named again AWHO colony, Army Welfare Housing Society colony. So there also it is in Ludhiana it is named, and in Noida it is named after.
So another thing, could you tell me a bit about how the bunkers were made by the Pakistanis? These defensive
The
locations.
Yeah, the bunkers, there were 72 bunkers. Can you imagine? There were 72 bunkers.
Bunkers.
Yeah, 72 bunkers, because ultimately we were occupying, no? So we counted the bunkers. There were ponds inside, and most of the bunkers, they got highly destroyed. Even though artillery fire was firing from afternoon, medium regiment, medium battery, light regiment, mountain regiment. So many of them were firing, but hardly any got destroyed, because they were, on the bunker, they had built what you call, fortified them with the sleepers
Railway working.
of the railway track. They had made it so solid that the bunkers would not have any effect. So that was what, when we were occupying that, even the enemy used to fire at us. But we used to quickly hide inside the bunkers, and nothing would happen. So that was that. So that was, and it was so well integrated. The defenses were like as he said, it was a classic defense of. So that was that, and now the Delta Company, since Vishnu Sharma was still there in Delta Company, and then he was ultimately told that he said it is not possible to hold on because enemy fire is too much. So then they were withdrawn in the 24th morning, early morning, 24th they were withdrawn, and they came back to Morapara.
Okay.
Now, 24th morning, then Brigadier Bhatti decided that we should attack during daylight.
Daylight.
But seeing the casualties, number of casualties, by then we had about 54 killed. In that assault, we had already 54 killed. So because of the casualties, it was cancelled. But in the early morning, he decided to attack next to Morapara. There was a BOP, Vasudevpur BOP of theirs. And Vasudev BOP was lightly held. In the sense, they are not held by regular army personnel. They are held by rangers.
Paramilitary.
Paramilitary forces. So we asked Five Garhwal, and Five Garhwal showed a lot of guts, and they climbed. There was a wall there. They climbed over the wall, and they were able to capture Vasudevpur. So one side of of Morapara
Was secure finally.
was secured by then by Five Garhwal. So then the daylight came. 24th morning we were just firing at each other. They were firing at us, and we were firing at them. We were also firing, and they were also firing. We had remnants of Alpha and Bravo Company, few left, and Charlie Company, and remnants of Delta Company. So basically, it was one company plus that we had, because there were so many casualties. There were so many wounded. About 100 were wounded by then. In 54 killed and 100 wounded. So that makes it 150, more than 150. and
Achha.
company strength is 120.
Yeah.
So two companies 240. Out of 240, 150.
50 are left.
No,
Yeah, standing.
yeah. So so there was, and of course we had and another sorry, Delta company also we had. Delta company also suffered very heavily. But even then, basically we had one full company, it is Charlie company.
Mm. Major
So
PPC, I guess.
yeah, major PPC. He later on became a major, and he got, which I don't think he commanded a division, but he became a major. Then, there is a very famous quote by Desmond Head. Desmond Head, you must have heard of.
Yeah, yeah, 3 Jat.
Three-Jat, very famous
65
man,
bomb.
and he was, what do you call, in the battle of what that is, Ichukul
Dogai.
Canal,
Battle of Dogai.
huh?
Battle of Dogai.
Dogai, Dogai, across the Ichukul Canal. And he is, we have to take, what do you call, solace from the fact what he said. And he said, and I quote, in war, a soldier gets no reward, but the glory of his battalion.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. So that's what we had to take solace from some of our chaps who deserved to get awards, but did not get any awards. Then we come to also Bravo Company also had a JCO. His name was Subhadar Raj Bahadur Singh.
Okay.
Very spirited chap. He fought very well. Bravo Company, and he was killed in action.
Indian action.
He got a Veer Chakra. And then there was another JCO called Mohammed Naeem. He also fought very spiritedly. Both of these JCOs fought very spiritedly along with Captain Bansal. But Mohammed Naeem didn't get any award, unfortunately. Subhadar Raj Bahadur, both were killed in action.
Both. Achha, achha, achha.
Both were killed in action.
I mean, it's a very bad situation for the battalion. So many
Yeah,
officers killed, wounded,
yeah.
JCOs killed.
Yeah, four officers killed, two JCOs killed,
Yeah.
and 68 killed. In that action, of course, 50 killed. But later on, we had another 54 killed in that action, and later on we had another 14 killed while we were occupying the defences. So then, as I said, during the day we were firing at each other, and at night we used to send patrol. We sent patrol of Charlie Company. And Charlie Company is a very spirited officer in the sense, in the name of Second Lieutenant K.S. Roy Jain. He became a captain, but unfortunately and surprisingly, he didn't get permanent commission. He was an officer, and he was, he had to leave the army after 5 years of service or 10 years of service. So he kept on pushing. It is called exploitation. So he kept on pushing the chaps, and even four frontier force had enough. Their company commander was killed, who was the only, Muhammad Akram, who was the only
Nishan Haider, I guess.
only one Nishane-e-Haider in entire East Pakistan. That was Muhammad Akram. So they had also had enough. And while we were exploiting, Kiran Shankar Rajan found its place, and he went and occupied. And this was in the early hours of 24th, 25th morning. And so then he told us that we are all, we were just following him. And then he told us, and we were also, now there were only Charlie Company and battalion headquarters people. Most of the other people were either wounded or killed. So we followed battalion headquarters, then under the Chaudhry, and of course the PO. And we followed Charlie Company. And in that, I had a Sahayak with me, buddy, chap called Ganga Sagar. And he got a bullet and he fell down. So he very brave chap, in the sense that he was alive till about 2 years back.
Okay.
And I had him evacuated. Yeah, they were firing at us. No, I said we fired at them, they were firing at us. Would be a stray bullet, but one doesn't know. And he was He passed away 2 years back, but that bullet remained till he was alive. Can you imagine? The bullet was so close to the heart it could not be removed.
Okay.
Uh, so he fell down and he was evacuated. And then as we moved forward, we found that we went and occupied that place. And in the meantime, Pakistanis came from the other side and started counter-attack. By then, what had happened was with the armor, which was supposedly to support us, they had got stuck in the what do you call those water and
These are PT-76 or T-55s?
no T-55.
T-55.
T-55. T-55 is a heavy tank. I commanded an armored brigade later on in life. I commanded an armored brigade and in which I had T-55s. So I know exactly what do you call the weight and everything of
They are
T-55.
heavy, yeah.
They are very heavy. There is no question of they are moving in. I don't know probably the going was not probably done or whatever. So by the time that if you see his book, if you read his book, General Lakshman Singh Lail, he says that he's got he didn't talk much about the Armored Corps. 63 Cavalry was the regiment. He says these some tank got hit also, got stuck, got hit, and one of them was they said he had just come from the ERE, extra regimental employment, and he was not not conversant with the tanks. So I don't know how if you read his book, it is mentioned there. So that was that, and ultimately we were able to capture that objective. But because by then artillery fire and some tanks were able to come, and they supported us also to what you call repulse the attack of Pakistanis, four frontier force. In the meantime, we found suddenly that there was on the tree there was a OP officer of theirs who was directing fire. He was still there. And we caught hold of him and we nicely gave him a beating. And because we were also, so many of us were
Very much
killed because of
angry, yeah.
yeah. So he was we gave him a nice beating, but we ultimately handed him over to the to the headquarters. I don't know what happened to him later, but
Many
that was
interrogated, yeah.
must have been interrogated. So then that was that, and then we were able to capture, and then from 25th of November till the 10th of December, we were surrounded from all three sides. Only the fourth side, up there, BOP.
Matlab, sir, for these days you were just holding out that place.
Yeah, we were holding on to the place. In the meantime, the other battalions of the brigade were doing some, clearing up of other areas.
Acha.
And we were given an option to, rest and recoup because we had suffered so heavily. But our CO would have nothing to do with it. He said, no, nothing doing, we hold on to the objective. Now, in that, we lost about 14 killed because they used to keep on firing at us with artillery and artillery fire you can make out because it makes a sound. So the moment that sound used to come, we used to jump into the bunker, and so we used to get killed. But they had a 73mm rocket, which used to come unannounced, and that caused a lot of casualties to us. You see, we got about 14 killed and about 30 wounded in those 15 odd days that we were.
These are like rocket artillery, right, sir?
No, it is this is like a rocket, but it won't come. It won't make a sound. They would fire a rocket artillery, but it is 73mm, and this is for a
Rocket
shell
makes a
to
lot of
come.
sound. Yeah, but
Shell makes a lot of sound. So the moment that so used to come, we used to jump into the bunker. And I was occupying the same bunker as my second in command, Major Chaudhary, and there was also my intelligence officer with me. So three of us, second lieutenant Mangotra. So all three of us were in the same bunker, but at night there was no question of sleeping. During day we used to try and get 40 wings. But at night there was no question because we used to keep on, they used to keep on firing, we used to keep on sending patrols and things like that. So that was that. So
So मेरा एक सवाल है सर 20 माउंटेन डिव का जो बाकी ब्रिगेड्स था they were mostly doing their runs while your brigade 202 was
Yeah.
stuck there actually.
yeah, we were stuck there, but and I was telling you the other defenses now, other two battalion actions, what I know little of. On night of 25th, 26th November, we vacated Morapara,
No
and
para.
moved to Morapara, right? So 22 Maratha came there and occupied Morapara.
अच्छा.
And while occupying Morapara, an enemy patrol was coming toward Morapara.
Okay.
And probably these 22 Maratha infantry guys thought that probably हमारा friendly patrol है. So some JCO went out to receive that patrol. And it turned out that it was enemy patrol and they shot him.
अच्छा.
So he was wounded. So there was this Captain Major Dadkar, who was a great friend of Major Mandrekar. As it is, he was upset because his friend was killed the previous day.
Yeah.
He went out to save that JCO and get him back. In that, he himself got killed. So it was a sort of a self-sacrifice, and in the best traditions of the Indian Army, and he got a Veer Chakra for that. His friend didn't get anything, but he got a Veer Chakra. So that was as far as what you call Major Dadkar was concerned. His wife is here in Pune. His name is also there in the War Memorial in Pune.
I think there's a very famous picture of Lieutenant Colonel Vishwanathan, the CEO of 222 MLI, shaking hands with a Pakistani major near.
Yes. That was Swaminathan. Colonel Swaminathan. Not Vishwanathan, Swaminathan.
So yeah.
Yeah, he took the what you call surrender of. That picture is there. And then there was another BOP there to the north called Dev Khanda BOP.
Okay.
Dev Khanda, and to the north of Hilli, little north of Morapara. And Bhai Gadwal, Ranjit Singh was the one who was given the task to capture. Now, the Kamani also was also there, but he got hit. Kamani also got hit and was got a bullet in the knee, and he was evacuated. And then Major Thapa of Bhai Gadwal assumed command. And Dev Khanda BOP was finally captured on 5th December 51. They were, and in that there were two second lieutenants who fought a spirited battle. One was Second Lieutenant J.J.S. Rane, who was the son of, very rarely you will find a politician's son.
Yeah.
His mother was MP from Goa. Some Sanyogita Rani. And there was another Second Lieutenant Puri. Both were killed in that action. But Rani got a Veer Chakra in that. Very, very spirited officer. I knew him personally, and he got a Veer Chakra in the operation. Then, while the Pluto Mountain Brigade was engaged in Hilli area, 66 Mountain Brigade, 66 Mountain Brigade and 340 Mountain Brigade. These were the other two battalions of 20 Mountain Brigade. They were sent, they sidestepped Hilli and moved to area behind. Because they sidestepped Hilli and they captured the depth position of Pirganj by 7 December. There was a place called Pirganj. I think in the map it may not be there. I'll send you one more map. So it is there, Pirganj is there. And They went behind, and 202 Mountain Brigade was told to directed to clear rest of Hilli.
Acha.
So, and in that, then 22 Maratha light infantry, they were told to capture Bispara and Balachangram.
Okay,
Two
Barachengram.
places, Balachangram and Bispara.
Mm-hmm.
And 22 Maratha under commanding officer Lieutenant Colonel Swaminathan.
Mm-hmm.
He tasked Charlie and Delta Company to capture Bispara and Balachangram. And they fought well. There was, I think, Delta Company was under Major Patil was there. And they were able to capture by around, I think it was around 9th or 10th December that they were able to capture.
Acha.
No, I already told you about defense of Morapara,
Mm-hmm.
where we were encircled,
Mm-hmm.
and we were, living on Shakarpara basically, and from one side the
Maximum Puri, I guess.
yeah, and one side puri and sabji
Mm-hmm.
used to come in the evening
Acha, acha.
from the Basudev POP which we had captured.
Mm-hmm.
From their side, the BS Lawn used to send us some sabji puri and shakarpara for the day. So that was, for about 15 days or so, we were just eating that. And there were a lot of bodies there, in ours. So many people were killed. And it was, I must give credit to Major Chaudhary, who was the second command, who ensured that every body was picked up
Evacuated. Acha.
and and given a decent burial oblique cremation.
Mm-hmm.
I must give credit because the body was stinking.
Yeah.
So many days it passed. They were in we had to clear the minefields.
And I think you couldn't recover till the Morapara defense fell of the Pakistan.
Yeah, correct. Around Morapara defenses, because to even to clear, we were fired upon. So at night we used to clear those bodies. So and to find those bodies was a big problem. Then to carry them at night, and
और वहाँ
stinking
पे तो
water.
आई थिंक सर पैडी फील्ड जैसे आपने बताया they were
Yeah, पानी में and paddy fields, to locate the body is also the problem. Only by the smell or the sting that we. So then by then Hilli had been cut off, by the 66 Mountain Brigade, and so by 10th or 11th of December, this was the second Battle of Hilli. They were not so, resolute, I would say, in their defenses. And Charlie Company under P.P. Singh and Delta Company under now we had reinforcements because Major Ravindranath was evacuated, Major Mandrikar was killed, Major so we had two majors in place. Three majors, as reinforcement, and some old veterans who joined us. So there was a Major Major Swaran Singh Saini, who was originally a guard. He came back
अच्छा
and he was leading Delta Company after Major Rao.
मुझे take it out.
And Major Umang Seth came in place of Major Ravindranath Puri, Ravindranath, and he was leading the Bravo Company. And Alpha Company was as it is, hardly anybody left.
Yeah, no officer
Yeah.
almost.
No officer, but the officer who came from who took over Alpha Company was Major Sirsikar, who came on the day the ceasefire was declared.
अच्छा
And he happened to be a cousin of Major Mandrikar. So Major Sirsikar was the officer who came.
So another thing,
And
sir, till that time, till the ceasefire, Alpha Company was there without any commanding officer.
yeah, without commanding also. Because all the officers were killed, and they were hardly any. So we were, so after 10th, 11th December, when we fought 7 battles. Those battles were not as resolute because they were on the run. You see? So we cleared about 7 positions. Hilli, Pak Hilli, then high school, their position, Dangapara, there was a little battle, but other position there was not much battle because they had, and finally Hilli was cleared on 11 December.
11 December. Sure.
Yeah. So, and then after on 12 December we started moving. In, we had what do you call moving forward in some of us had Pakistani vehicles, because in Hilli there we found a lot of Pakistani vehicles. So in fact I used to drive a Wellesley myself. So that was that, and finally we went and halted at Rangpur.
Okay.
As we were told to get ready for attack on Rangpur. So we were slowly, getting information and all that. But before that, the ceasefire was declared on 16 December. So that was why we were at Rangpur, that day. And then thereafter we moved to Dinajpur. And there in Dinajpur we were there for quite some time. And there we were given he was welcome. You must have seen that photograph where we were driving and there was a garland being put by a nun. And then we were invited by nuns there for a meal, and we were so famished, after eating a good meal, it was supposed to be a 6-course meal, but we had finished everything in 2 courses only. So that was that as far as now the casualties in Hilli, all 3 battalions. Ours was 4 killed, 4 officers, 2 ratios, and 70 wars killed, including 2 attached. Ours 8 guards, 68, but 2 of artillery were also killed.
Okay.
And I must give some credit to this for clearing the minefield, because to recover the bodies.
The engineers.
Engineers, Captain Paul, who did a great job. And then we had I forget his name now, we had our own pioneer. Excuse me, I forget his name now. But they were able to clear the minefield so that we could recover our bodies.
Okay.
That was very important. So the casualties were 4 to 70 of 8 guards and attached troops. 22 Maratha was 1 officer, 2 JCOs killed, and 23 other ranks. Major Tadkar, 23. And 5 Garhwal, which was probably the most efficient, I would say. There were 2 officers killed, 1 JCO, and 15 were. 15. So the total casualties killed were in Hilli, Battle of Hilli, of the Go-To Mountain Brigade was 7 officers, 5 JCOs, and 108 were.
Killed.
On the other hand,
Killed.
Yeah, all killed. And on the other hand, Pakistani had 1 officer, 6 JCOs, and 100 killed. Now you can imagine the level of officer leadership. You can gauge the officer leadership here.
And sir,
There are
he was
7
held by
officers.
Pakistani 4 frontier force only, or other units
Yeah,
also.
yeah. But even then, to see the casualty rate, which is 1 officer, 600 awards killed. 100 awards killed in entire Battle of Hilli. Whereas ours was 7 officers and 108. The JCO was almost the same, 6 and 5.
Right.
But ORs is also almost the same, 100 and 108. But the officer casualty was 7 as compared to just 1 casualty. So you can imagine the leadership, of our officers. Now the gallantry awards. No, so before that I just want to tell you that in Morapara, the Pakistanis thought that 3 battalions had attacked them on the night of 24th. Alpha and Bravo company attacked, then Charlie company attacked. So they thought that almost 3 battalions were attacked. Whereas actually there was only 1 battalion, not even 1 battalion. Even that captured Pakistani officer, Kamran,
अच्छा अच्छा
He was on the
ट्री टॉप
OP
हाँ हाँ
or treetop. He also confirmed that two battalions are attacked.
अच्छा
You know, two battalions attacked that night on 23rd November. So, and I must tell you that while visiting military hospital, General Leal went to military hospital because there are so many wounded.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
And in his book, it is written that he met a wounded guardsman and who said, and I quote, do check how guardsmen are lying dead at Morapara. All would be facing the enemy. Leal in his book writes, Indian sword strikes East Pakistan. How right he was. He said not a single chap was facing the other side. All of them were facing the enemy. And he said how right he was. No wonder 8 guards fought so well. So that is in his book he written that. And currently was it may be Pakistan command. I already told you he got a Nishani. And General Manekshaw even wrote a letter to the Pakistani army chief complimenting his whole battalion
right right four
for,
frontier
for,
force
for,
पहुंच
for their force. Their second lieutenant Mohammad Salim Khan received Sitar-e-Jurat and Brigadier Malik also received Hilal-e-Jurat.
हिलाल
Yeah. So, and as I said earlier, he's the only officer who was later on promoted to Major General from East Pakistan. Not a single officer was promoted because he put up such a strong fight. 8 guards, as I said, was awarded 3 Mahavir Chakras, including commanding officer for his leadership. I think probably the most decorated battalion in the eastern sector.
right
Uh, two Veer Chakras, one is Surya Raj Bahadur Singh posthumous, and one was for Captain Vishnu Sharma. One Sena medal that was for Major K.K. Rao,
right
and they got 7 Manchurian dispatches. In fact, 3 Manchurian dispatches for 8 guards and 4 for the artillery.
okay
Actually, even the engineer should have got award, but well, such is life. So the 3 Manchurian dispatches were one was Major P.P. Singh, one was Captain Bansal, and the third was Haldar Awadh Bahadur Singh. He was a machine gun commander.
हवलदार अवध
Awadh Bahadur Singh.
बहादुर सिंह okay
He is no more now, but Awadh Bahadur Singh, he was a very fine soldier. As I said, they received the battle honor and theatre honor, 8 guards, and was selected as one of the 3 units, as you know, to participate in the Republic Day parade. The other 2 being 2nd Para of Tangel and 10th Para of Chachro, Bhavan Singh Battalion. And also the contingent, our contingent, that is, was given the honor to presenting the first Guard of Honor at the newly established Amar Jyoti. That time Amar Jyoti was established first time. So Major S.K. Chaudhary was leading that contingent. And we had very heavy casualties, so we didn't have manpower. So we had to borrow from other guard battalions, for making, because there was this
I think
contingent
one
plus
third
4
gone, sir. One third.
Huh?
One third was gone.
Yeah. And plus four contingents of the for the parade. No?
Uh-huh.
4 contingents, company contingents for the parade, plus this contingent for the. So it was very difficult for us to make up the manpower. I had to ring up everyone and try and get from the other battalions. 5 Garhwal Rifles was awarded 3 Veer Chakras, 3 Sena medals, and 7 Manchurian dispatches. So they fought very well. Theatre honor and battle honor. Very good one. Very fine battalion. 22 Maratha Light Infantry was awarded 1 Veer Chakra and 2 Manchurian dispatches.
Okay.
And theatre honor. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they should have got a battle honor, really. But they didn't get battle honor, they got a theatre honor. So, I have some analysis. You want analysis of the battle? So, You see, firstly, as I said earlier, the intelligence available was not in consonance with what was actually
There was the intelligence failure.
intelligence failure complete. Then there was opposition to the plan of the army. This was army commander's plan to attack Hilli.
Acha, acha.
And the corps commander was not very keen on
General
attacking
Thapan.
Hilli. Thapan,
Acha, acha, acha.
ML Thapan.
Uh-huh.
And the divisional commander also not very particularly keen to attack Hilli, but army commander insisted. So army commander permitted the use of only one battalion for the attack, and with the rider that tanks to be used only in case enemy does so.
अच्छा लेकिन टैंक्स होता तो सर you would have fared very well.
Yeah, we would have covered much less casualties. And analysis of battle carried out that we attacked frontally. But I don't think it was frontal attack, because the frontal attack would have been across the railway line.
Right.
There was only one place, south of the hilly town. We couldn't have gone from there. The only place was from the north. So, to say that, and there was also railway line and river. Jamna river is also there.
अच्छा,
You see the yeah, running north to south. Also said that commanding officer should have put his foot down, and what you call said that so attacking such a highly fortified defense is not his cup of tea. But when you are out of the entire division, when you are selected to be, the battalion is selected to lead the attack, can any CO say that I will not
I
lead
will
that?
not do that. Yeah.
Again, correct grouping of armor should have been done. We should have got PT-76 tanks, which are very light tank.
Yeah.
By the time they came at 11 o'clock in the morning. By then we had already captured Morapara. Of course, they helped us in repulsing attacks of the enemy. But for attack on Morapara, they were not really available. They had come by 11 a.m. on 25th. One more point is that junior leadership was at its best in regard. Yeah, and the ferocity of the assault was too much. So much josh, Yeah, so much josh that I must give credit to this commanding officer for this. That, there was so much josh in the battalion. There is a very famous line by Rudyard Kipling, in which he says that, and I quote, "For the foot soldiers there is a thin red line which divides the sane from the mad." And that is applicable to some Singh samurai especially.
Right.
Because he knew where he was going. And the previous day's action and his action in the battle shows him, and also not only the previous he used to tell me, "Sir, mere ko bhejo udhar. I want to pull out machine gun." So you can imagine the level, this thing that divide the sane from the mad. He was really actually, I wouldn't say mad, but he was really highly motivated.
Highly
I
motivated.
had hats off to Mandreka for that matter. He was the most motivated company. That's why he was selected to lead the assault, and probably one of the first few casualties of the Indian Army, officer casualties. And while crossing the obstacle, instead of cutting the tree, there's so much josh, instead of using the wire cutter to cut the.
You just jumped
what do you
off.
call- they were just shaking the thing and trying to go over the. So much josh there was. There was when bullets fly, there is a different man altogether. A chap who talks big,
Yeah.
you will not find him on the objective. But a chap like, say, P.N. Gupta, very quiet chap, the way he fought, the way he spoke to the commanding officer on set, I must say, full credit to this young officer. They barely had just come out of the academy. And communication was very important. While one company commander fell, this Srila was very good. He went from one training commander to another. So that was that. As far as Bravo company is concerned, the operator was killed. So there was no communication. Alpha company there was communication, Bravo company there was no communication. So I said artillery, although very devastating fire, but very little effect
Enemy.
on the sleeper bunkers. And last but not least is, as I told you earlier, the difference in leadership of the two armies. That casualty rate of the officer vis-a-vis the troops is much more. And Indian Army has a tradition of leading from the front.
The
That,
officers lead from the front, unlike the
yeah,
Pakistanis. Yeah.
yeah, correct. So that is as far as, and this will be considered as a classic example of sheer guts, sacrifice, and determination to win against all odds by a gallant band of soldiers who were highly motivated unit. The Indian Army had got the better of the enemy's best. Four fighters, very reputed regiment.
Very reputed.
The
Yeah.
battle for years was staged in the Indian Military Academy there and various other institutions to motivate gentlemen cadets. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, that is my last thing. That when I went to the war memorial in Delhi, I found that the names are all there, 68 killed were there. But in our battle, it was said that we had not captured the objective. It was said that we had Hilli was cut off, and so therefore, it was how that's how it was captured. So I almost broke down there, and I said, "What a disgrace this is! These people have not carried out proper, archaeological section, and not carried out a proper analysis of this." So I wrote to the Army Commander, Eastern Command. General Narone was one of my cadets when I was posted in NDA
Yes, yes,
as an instructor. I wrote to General Rawat also.
Bipin
I told
Rawat.
him, Bipin Rawat, I told him this is not correct. Bipin Rawat was also a cadet of mine. Not mine, but he was there as a cadet in another company, another squadron. I wrote to them that this is not correct and please have it. Please. And I gave a thing. And in that ultimately they changed it. It took me 2 years to have it changed, but ultimately I got it changed. And he said that, my comrades will sleep in peace. Having, what do you call it?
Who were killed in action.
Who were killed in action.
Wounded.
Yeah, it was I should say, a monumental effort by me. It took me a lot of time. And this example is given by some people, that this officer tried so many times and ultimately got it changed.
Can I ask something, sir? Like, I mean, before I come to you as well, regarding your part in the Indian Armed Forces, I wanted to know about the conditions of the wounded after the battle had ended and how their lives have been, sir. And in short, if you could talk about it, sir.
Yeah, actually, most of them have now passed away. But I am still, in fact, my troops are basically from, I didn't get to command 8 guards, I got to command 18 guards. But troops are basically from UP area, UP and MP, and a few from Gujarat, but very few from Gujarat, but basically from UP and MP areas. And basically UP, and some MP and few from Gujarat. And some of them wanted to meet me. They were too old. So one day I just decided that let me go. I took a flight to Lucknow. Lucknow, I went to Kanpur, and I met all the people. People were literally crying. Some of them to meet me after so many years, and I'm in touch with quite a few of them. Those who are living, some wounded, and there's one 83-year-old Sudhar Chandradev Rai, who was also wounded in action. And there are some others also, Sudhar Ram Pyare, who was a machine gun platoon commander, very good soldier. There are some others also, Ranjit Singh was there, Babulal Singh was there. And I've helped them financially a bit, in whatever little way I can. I've given them 2 to 7,000. I've been sending money to them, for just not that they are not getting pension, but just as my affection toward them. So that way I am in touch with some of them, but most of them are passed away. There are about 10, 12 people who are still there. I am in touch with most of them.
Acha. And how have they been doing, sir, with their war wounds? Like,
Yeah, like they have recovered slowly. They
mm-hmm.
have recovered. As I told you, my Sahayak who passed away about 2 years back, his bullet couldn't be removed. But that is what it is, and some of them are not keeping well, and some of them suffering from probably dementia and things like that. But
Right, right.
one has to, I suppose that is life.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else?
Uh, Before, sir, I mean, we conclude this program.
After that, I was in, I till 2IC rank,
Mm.
I was in 8 guards.
Acha.
Then I went to the army commander, Northern Command, who was from guards. He
Acha.
selected me as his assistant military secretary.
Okay.
So I was serving with him, and then 18 guards was raised during that time.
Acha, acha.
So when I went to him, went to General Handu was my person. And I went to him, I have written an article on him also, a nice booklet on him. And I went to him and told him I want to go to 8 guards. He said, no, you will not go to 8 guards, you go to 18 guards.
Acha.
So 18 guards I commanded in North Sikkim at 18,500 feet. For constructing defenses was terrible. It was like Siachen, except that there was no fire there. We were under a glacier. We used to conduct defenses. And then for 1 year we were there, and then after that I converted my unit to mechanized infantry in
Okay.
Hisar,
18 guards.
18 guards, and then I commanded 180 armored brigade, which was in
180 armor brigade.
which was in defensive rapid in Bikaner.
That time you saw the T-55s.
Yeah, that time I had T-55 with me.
Acha, acha.
And also with that movie, Border.
Border. Ha, ha, ha.
My times were used for that movie. Of course, by the time I took over, they were packing up and leaving.
Mm.
The cinema chaps.
Acha,
But,
acha.
the garages and all that are my unit, my brigade headquarter garages.
Acha, acha, acha. After that you took over the command.
Yeah, after that.
Right, right.
And one more thing, I also received colors for 8 guards from
Acha.
General Giri. Since I was very good in drill,
Mm-hmm.
they selected me and I received colors from President Giri
Acha, acha.
in
Navy.
1973 in Kota.
Acha.
That was also
Wonderful.
that is that.
That's wonderful, sir. I mean, this thing, I mean, all these extreme details, even I didn't know, sir. I mean, yeah. And I've read about the action, but not so
Yeah,
much.
so these details may not be known. Yeah, as I said, I've been giving talks to various people. Eastern Command called me this time also in December, but I couldn't go every time. I can't keep on going. I had been there earlier.
Acha, acha.
I
I mean, I
I
think
knew
now
it.
they use the Lance Naik Albertica auditorium for these kind of talks. Yeah, I was there
Yeah,
in
yeah.
one of them.
Oh, okay. No, I was there, I think, 29, 20, 21, 20,
21.
21.
At that time, it was under construction. Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. Albert was only the Paramveer Chakra from the eastern sector.
Yeah.
But that time television was not there, so so much publicity was not.
Was not there.
Like Kargil was only a battle as such. It was of course a very ferocious battle, no doubt about it. There were 4 Paramveer Chakras.
Mm-hmm.
But here we liberated an entire nation.
Yeah.
We created an entire nation. There was only one Paramveer Chakra,
Yeah.
the entire eastern sector. So something must be done to rectify these awards. People like Mandrekar, people like Gupta, they deserved.
Yeah.
Oh, there must be so many like them, in other.
So many, sir. So many. I mean, yeah.
That is it. Sure.
Okay
Okay.
then, sir. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your talk. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.